Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're doing well and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. It is Monday, it is the last week, full week of July, so I'm really hoping I can read some good books this week and get my kind of like routine back set, because if you didn't know, I spent most of last week in Wales having a little mini holiday with Mark and my grandma, so that was really fun, but it definitely kind of like threw me off schedule wise. So I'm hoping I can get back on track this week with just all things regarding my life, including reading, because although I had a good reading week last week, I do want to try and read at least 2 more books before the end of the month, because I've only read 4. Although I've had a really good reading month. I'll save that all for the wrap up, but if you've been following my weekly vlogs, you'll know kind of, although I've read slower, I've read some really good books I've rated highly. So we are starting, because surprise, Prompt to Prompt is coming back for August, but we're starting a week early just because, like I've said before, my July TBR just isn't inspiring me. So I'm just going to start Prompt to Prompt early, and we're going to pick out my first physical read and my first audiobook. So I want to get back into audiobooks. I want to start listening to things on my commute to and from work again. So that is what we're going to do. So I don't want to be too strict, so this could be for my physical or my audiobook, but let's just put a prompt and see and go from there. I'm going to go right to the bottom, and should just go for these two, because one's attached to my finger and one I'm holding. So one I'm holding is random letter. Okay, I do like that prompt. And then we also have, 3 or more words in the title. Okay, I'm excited. Ooh. Okay, random letter. Let's get a random letter up and see what we get, and then whether we can fit that for the audiobook. So get a random letter up. I'm so excited, guys. Okay, what is it going to be? Is that spinning? There you go. If it's S, it'd be hilarious. What is it? What is it? H. So this can either be the author's first name or last name, or also the title of the book. So let's... Oh my god. Okay. By that reaction, I might not have to dig very far. How to Die Famous by Benjamin Dean, H, and the audiobook is on Scribd, and I listened to The King is Dead by Benjamin Dean as audiobook and absolutely devoured it and loved it. And this has a multicast audiobook on Scribd as well. There's 3 or 4 narrators, so this is like definitely the pick, but I'm just going to see what else I have anyway. This is also on Scribd as an audiobook, it begins with H, but I'm not really feeling it as a YA. And I think my other option is Has Anyone Seen My Sex Life, which if you watched my last week's reading vlog, you know I kind of soft DNF'd. So this is going to be my audiobook for the week. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, oh my god. What a good start to the week. What a good start to the week. So that's a random letter. And then for my next physical books, I have just finished a book, so I need to start one. 3 or more words in the title. This could be anything. 3 or more words. There are quite a lot of books to pick between. Oh, I have quite a few options for this. Thing is, what do I want to read? That is the question. Like, I could read one of my new books I picked up over the weekend, The Vintage Shop by Libby Page. That would be definitely a different vibe to How to Die Famous. Can't read Black Cake, can't read Big Summer, can't read Kismet, I could read A Fortune Man. What do I want to read? I could read The 7-Year Slip, but I want to listen to this as an audiobook as well, because I listened to Dead Romantics as an audiobook and really enjoyed that kind of way of consuming this book, or that book, so I want to do the same for the second book by that author. The other book I got on my book shopping is this one. I could read this one. I think I'm going to go with this one and try and redeem Mike Gale, because obviously the last one I tried to read from him I DNF'd, so I think I'm going to go for this one for 3 or more words in the title, because obviously there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the title. So these are my 2 books for the week. I'm really excited, especially for this one. I'm really hoping this is going to be another banger from Mike Gale. Fingers crossed. These are the other 3 that I do really want to read right now. Hopefully I can get these in the month. I also want to try and get to Yours Truly in August, but I'll save that for my August video. Because I'm still going to do a TBR, kind of like books of like what I want to read next month, and obviously we'll see kind of what my TBR jar has in store for me. But yeah, let's kick off the week with these two. Hopefully I can get like one more read. That would be amazing because this is an audiobook, so fingers crossed. Happy Tuesday. I'm about to get into bed and read for a little bit, but I thought I'd give you a reading update because I'm enjoying, and I say more so than enjoying, loving my two current reads, which I feel like I'm on a roll with reading it in a minute and I don't want it to stop. So exciting. So obviously I'm reading How to Die Famous as an audiobook by Benjamin Dean. This is a multicast audiobook, which I think I've already said, but every character, you follow 4 perspectives, so every character has a different voice, which is so much fun. I don't read many audiobooks with kind of multicast, so it's really, really fun to read. And it's a good mystery kind of intrigue book so far. Nothing too, oh my god, shocking, and no kind of plot twists that have massively surprised me yet. I'm 114? I'm 145 pages into it, having listened to it to and from work today. And I've read 100 pages of it because I read up to page 30 yesterday. So reading it really quickly, and I only have 3.5 hours left of the audiobook as well. So I'm definitely intrigued to kind of see how it kind of plays out. It basically follows our main character. Basically our main character is Abel, who is a brother of someone who's died within a TV company. He was one of the crew members and he believes he was murdered, and the TV crew and company have hidden it and kind of covered it up. So he ends up auditioning to be part of a reboot of a TV series they're doing, and this TV series is really cursed because not only did his brother die as part of the crew years ago, an actress who was kind of one of the main characters went missing from that TV show as well. So this TV show is kind of cursed. Everyone believes it's cursed, but it gets rebooted. So Abel ends up auditioning and getting one of the leads for this TV show reboot and he's basically going undercover to try and figure out what happened to his brother. He thinks being on the inside will help him with that kind of investigation that he wants to kind of get closure on for his brother. And then you get 3 other perspectives, and they are all kind of co-stars to Abel. So the main TV show follows 4 kind of teenagers, and Abel's one of them, and then the other 3 perspectives you get are the other 3 kind of main cast of this TV show that's about to get rebooted. And they're all kind of harbouring secrets and whatnot, and it's your typical kind of like YA mystery, but I'm really enjoying it. I do love Benjamin Dean's writing style. I don't think I'm on edge or intrigued as much as The King is Dead, but still enjoying it and excited to kind of see where it goes. That was a ramble, I'm sorry. The other book I'm reading is The Museum of Ordinary People by Mike Gell, and I can already tell this is going to be a favourite. I'm going to be emotional. This is so good. It basically follows our main character, Jess, whose mother has unfortunately died, and she's clearing out her house, but she doesn't know what to do with most of the things that she wants to keep, and her friend tells her about a museum of ordinary people where ordinary objects get labelled up and put on display so people can always kind of remember them and have a place to put these objects they may no longer have space for in their home. So then she ends up giving some of her mother's stuff to this museum, and that's all I kind of have gathered from reading 36 pages so far yesterday. I haven't read any of this yet because I've been at my mum's all evening and I've only just got home, chatted to Mark about my day, and finally getting into bed at 9:20. You can't see that. 9:20, so I'm going to read a little bit more of this now and kind of fall asleep. But that's a Tuesday update. Wasn't expecting to be recording for so long, but yes, happy Tuesday. Loving both of my current reads, which is always a good thing. Going to conquer on a little bit more with The Museum of Ordinary People, and then read more of this tomorrow on my commute to and from work. So that's the update. I'm really hoping I can finish this by Thursday because I only have 3.5 hours of this left, and then this probably might take me the rest of the week just because it's quite a dense book and I don't want to rush it because it is such an emotional book already, and I know I'm going to love it, so I don't want to like power my way through it just for the sake of it. So I think this might take me the rest of the week, but I might be able to get another book in because I'll finish this one pretty quickly. But I'll stop rambling because I am tired. I want to go to bed and read for a little bit. So yeah, happy Tuesday.
Happy Thursday. I was filming this at like 5 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't talk because Mark was still asleep. But I was so close to finishing How to Die Famous by Benjamin Dean on my commute to work that I needed another audiobook for my drive home from work. So I thought I'd put a prompt this early in the morning. We got movie to a TV adaptation. So I was like, what to read? Daisy Jones was kind of going around in my head because that was the only one I could think of on the spot. And because I recently downloaded the audiobook for that on Audible, I decided to just give it one more go. I think this is the 3rd time I've tried to read this book now.
Happy Friday, you guys. I've been awful at vlogging this week. Just haven't wanted to film, which I guess will come in lulls when you're vlogging every single week. Like, absolutely hands up props to Chloe, because I don't know how she does it sometimes, because I'm like, breathe, I don't want to vlog, but I do want to keep you updated on the books that I'm reading. So it's Friday now, I'm working from home today, and yesterday I did manage to finish How to Die Famous by Benjamin Dean. I gave it another 4-star, so I think I will always feel this way, that I prefer his kind of like joyous middle grades, and then just really enjoy reading his YA thrillers via audiobook. I really enjoy his audiobooks. I don't know why. I believe the main character of this book also narrated The King is Dead as the main character. I feel like I need to triple check that, but it sounded the same. It sounded like the same voice. Obviously, I told you what this book basically is about anyway, so I'm just going to tell you what I loved about it. I loved that there was 4 audiobook narrators for the 4 main characters. You got 4 perspectives. I loved kind of like how tense it got near the end. It definitely kind of had a slow build up, which I kind of appreciated, because you got to know the characters a bit better because you had those 4 perspectives. It was a slower kind of progression, but because of that, the ending was more kind of impactful because you kind of really got to know these 4 characters. I love the bonds that these 4 characters kind of created across the kind of story and the plot. I love how there was a podcast element to this book. Every so often you kind of got a snippet and you got taken away from the story to hear a podcast of 2 people kind of talking about the industry, and I really enjoyed that. Was it needed? No. Could the story been exactly the same without it? Yes. But did I enjoy it? Yeah. I think because I was listening to the audiobook, it was another kind of new lease of voices. Whether the existing audiobook narrators narrated the podcast bits as well, just kind of like change their voice up, I don't know, but because the voices sounded different once again, it was another kind of like refreshing break in the story, kind of hearing another perspective of the plot. So I just really end up enjoying it. I thought the ending was like, oh my god, I feel like there's a sequel gonna happen. If you've read it, let me know, but I can't find anything about it. Benjamin Dean, if you're watching, can you let me know if there's a sequel, because I feel like there's gonna be a sequel and I need a sequel. I did really enjoy it. Do I love it more than The King is Dead? I think I prefer the characters in this one. I loved how you got 4 perspectives. Like I keep saying, I love multiple perspective books. So I think from that perspective, I loved this book more because I liked kind of having more perspectives across the story. But I felt more intrigued by The King is Dead. Like, I was constantly on the edge with The King is Dead, whereas I was only on the edge for the last like 100 pages of this book. Still really enjoyed it, giving it the same rating. Highly recommend Benjamin Dean as an author anyway, whichever books you pick up from him. But I love the fact that both middle grade books I've read by him have got 5 stars, and both YA book I read by him have given a 4 stars. So he's just a very consistent, enjoyable author for me, and therefore he now is definitely one of my favourite authors of all time, because 2 5 stars and 2 4 stars definitely make it in one of my favourite authors of all time. So congratulations, Benjamin Dean. You have won Rachel Butcher's Favourite Author Award. I'm still in the middle of The Museum of Ordinary People by Matt Gale, one of my also favourite authors. This one I have barely kind of touched. I'm only 64 pages into this, and that's because I've been so focused on finishing this one that I kind of haven't had the time in the evenings to sit down with a physical book. I've been very busy every evening. Tuesday I was at my mum's for the entire evening. Wednesday I was at an in-person book club. Thursday was yesterday, and I was cooking dinner, and then me and Mark watched a film, so I didn't really kind of have time to sit down and read. But I'm determined to prioritise reading today, tomorrow and Sunday, and kind of really delve my teeth into reading this book. I'm enjoying it. I definitely feel like I need to just get my teeth into it though, because it feels quite disjointed at the minute, because I'm reading it like 1 chapter here, 1 chapter there. I just want to kind of like fly through it now. So that's my main priority for the rest of this reading vlog and the weekend, because it is Friday. Yay for Friday! And also you saw me yesterday pick out Davy Jones and the Six for like the 3rd time as my next audio pick. I think I might start listening to that one tomorrow when I start doing like the clean of the house of the weekend. But I'm excited to read that one as an audiobook, because I think it's going to really enhance the story, because I believe once again it's a multicast audiobook. So maybe that's kind of like my new kind of vibe, is multicast audiobooks. So I haven't started that one, so I have no updates, but that's kind of like the general gist for Friday morning. I hope you're having a lovely day, whichever day you're watching this, and I'll keep you posted, hopefully a bit more consistently now, for the rest of the weekend, and let you know my thoughts on my current reads. Happy Sunday. I didn't vlog anything yesterday. My period and a cold started to appear on me, which is never fun, like a double combo, no thank you. So I ended up just chilling for the day, but with that chill I did manage to read a lot. So I'm like almost at the end of Mike Gale's The Museum of Ordinary People now. I read like 150 pages yesterday. I'm now on page 259, so I'm going to try and finish this today. I should be able to finish it today. I have about like 120 pages left, and
Apart from seeing Oppenheimer at the cinema today, we have no other plans. So I'm tired because my body seems to be in survival mode at the minute with my period and having a cold. It's like a sore throat just at the minute, so I feel like in the next couple of days it could really kind of like turn worse. So I'm trying to like take the Lemsip, eat the fruit and veg, kind of really be good today with diet, because yesterday I felt sorry for myself. So I ate a whole bag of Maltesers, I had a chocolate pudding for dessert, and I just kind of like ate what I wanted to eat. So today I'm like trying to get back on track and do good things for my body to try and combat this cold. So I'm just gonna like chill and read, and that's about it for today. I don't want to do anything else. I'm so tired. I just want to chill on the sofa, read my book and watch Oppenheimer. So I'm really enjoying this. I feel like I haven't really said anything about it and since kind of starting it, and I'm really enjoying the plot. It's a very kind of like mundane plot. It basically follows our main character Jess, who kind of curates a museum of ordinary people. So instead of like going to a museum where like all the kings and queens pieces are, or like rich people's pieces of art are, she collates a museum and tries to get up and running of ordinary items from kind of like people's past. So like a suitcase full of old photos, wedding albums, like a vintage wedding dress, like all sorts. And she like labels them up kind of with the history, and it's kind of that conversation of, are ordinary people's things just as important as kind of the rich and famous? Like, would you go and see a museum filled with people's histories and stories that are kind of unknown rather than just kind of like people of the wealthy? So it's a really interesting conversation on that. I'm really enjoying our main character Jess. I think Mike Gale's actually doing a really good job at writing in the female perspective. I love the relationship between her and her best friend and I love like all the people that she works with, and the relationship isn't kind of like a key aspect of the story. Mike Gale never does like romances. He does like literary fiction, contemporary. So there is a relationship in there. I don't like it, but you're not meant to like it. You're meant to kind of feel quite irritated by it. So I think Mike Gale's doing a good job at that. I love the writing style as always because it's Mike Gale. And I don't know if it's going to be 5 stars unless the last 100 pages like really pull at my heartstrings, but it's going to be a solid like 4, 4.5. So I'm excited to finish that today and kind of see where the end plot goes. I did also, while cleaning yesterday, because we had to get the housework done, start Davy Jones and the Six. And because I'm now listening to the audiobook of it, I'm loving it a lot more. I love how many different voices you get in this. And everyone says how good the audiobook is, but it's a really good way to consume this book. I am 43 pages into it and really enjoying it. It feels more like an interview now. You listen to it as an audiobook rather than kind of just reading it. So definitely very glad I managed to get the audiobook version of it so I can listen to it that way. But I feel like I probably won't read much of that today, and I'll probably wait to read it during next week while I commute to and from work. So that's kind of like the reading update. Obviously it is Sunday, so hopefully I can finish this book today, and then that's kind of probably it for my reading plans. And then we'll start afresh. The first prompt to prompt will officially have begun, which you will see because will be posting my August TBR today, which you'll have seen by the time you see this video. So yeah, prompt to prompt is officially back, although I have kind of been doing it for the last couple of weeks anyway. I'll stop rambling. I'm so tired. I just want to go sit on the sofa and read my book and probably fall asleep. So that's the Sunday plan. I probably won't update you very often. I'll probably just update you once I finish my book and go from there, because this week just hasn't been great. Probably because my body was about to shut down. That's probably why. It's now a lot later on Sunday. It's 10 to 6. Marcus just started making dinner for us. Hunter's chicken, yummy. I have finished Museum of Ordinary People by Mike Gale. It's come out at 4 stars, so the lowest book that I've read by him so far, minus the DNF. I enjoyed it, but I definitely think the ending was a bit like meh compared to the beginning half. I definitely felt throughout this book that I forgot that I was reading this book. I just love Mike Gale's writing style so much. I love how he writes books. So that's kind of what kind of constantly made me keep reading, is because I just love his writing. Like, I constantly get completely absorbed into the stories and forget that I'm reading, and that happens with most of his books. Even with The Legendary Girlfriend, the reason I didn't want to stop reading was because I loved the writing and it still felt so easy to read. There's so much more to this book than just kind of like a main character who's trying to keep hold of a museum that she trying to curate with objects of ordinary people. It's like way more than that. There's friendship, there's love, there's grief. There's like so much in this book
that kind of you wouldn't expect from the main plot, and I did really enjoy it. It's come out of 4 stars, so that is another Mike Gale book finished, which is exciting. I'm not going to pick a new book now because Prompt 50 starts tomorrow, although it is the 31st. I'm just going to obviously count it because most of the week next week falls into August. So Prompt starts next week, which is really exciting and I cannot wait. But I'll pick my first book with you guys in next week's reading vlog, which for me is tomorrow. Obviously I got a little bit into Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm hoping to finish that next week, so if you want to know my thoughts on that, then make sure you subscribe so you can watch next week's reading vlog. But I think I'm going to leave you guys here because this weekly reading vlog really hasn't been the best. I haven't been feeling 100%, and that's because my body decided to kick me with a period and a cold on the same day, both starting today, which is fabulous. I appreciate it very much. So if you can kind of see my energy dwindling across the week, that is why. Hopefully I'll feel better next week, but I'm definitely bunged up. I definitely feel like it's a head cold, like my eyes hurt, my nose is bunged up, my head just feels like ugh. So yeah, my thoughts on Oppenheimer, I didn't enjoy it. I fell asleep for about 2 hours of the 3 hours. So that is that. It felt like a fever dream because I just don't really remember much of it because I was asleep for most of it. But anywho, that is me. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below to future content from me. I do anything from weekly reading vlogs, monthly TBRs, monthly wrap-ups, and all other bookish content that you can think of. I usually have it on this channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.